Alright, now for something completely out of left field. Yes, it's not a transformer, it is not a transforming robot of any kind. This is a Kamen Rider toy, specifically Kamen Rider Decade's Henshin belt, the DecaDriver. Yeah, I've wanted one of these belts for a long time, and I finally got up the nerve to pick one up. And wow, did I pick a nice one. I am a big fan of this belt. Now, let's get some of the basics out of the way, because I feel a few videos out there that review this tend to leave a few of these things out. First of all, yeah, you're going to notice that this thing makes a sound for everything you do. It is primarily a noise-making toy. So just for this now, I'll shut it off, just to give you a good example. And you hear that very loud plastic clicking. This is a very solid toy. It's constructed very well, and seems like it'll hold up under heavy play. Now, detailing on it is really accurate to the show. A lot of things, like the molded detailing in here, I never really noticed before. And it's a really nice touch, and it really adds some depth and mechanical detail to the belt. I'm trying to adjust the light so you can see it a little better. And I'm not sure how it's working because I'm still new at this camera. You've also got a lot of extra little details. Decade across the top. All 9 Heisei Rider emblems are around there, a little green at the top, and these buttons on the side. These don't light up like they do in the show. That's a little disappointing, but it's not a big deal. And the detailing on this is incredible, like I said, not only on the inside, but here on the outside. This actually has that same brushed metal finish that the lens of a camera does. So it keeps with the camera theme of Decade. Very nice touch. Now, I'll turn it back on. And even turning it on makes a noise, because this is a noise-making toy. And what do we do with this? We swipe cards. This is the main Henshin card. That's Kamen Rider Decade himself, though you probably know that if you're watching this review. So we'll give this one a try, and I'll make this as accurate as possible. Henshin! You hear that? If you've heard if you've seen the series, that is a very accurate sound clip. Again, everything makes a sound. Now that's a big deal. Now if you listen to last year's belt, the Kiva belt, it doesn't exactly sound like it does on the show. It sounds bored compared to the epic voice of Kivat. So yeah, you really have to watch out for accuracy. Not a problem with this belt. It is a phenomenal, it recreates the sound effects phenomenally. Now, aside from what you see here, you can see it's a belt, so it fits around here, around the waist, but, yeah, I have to modify it. See, I'm not a young Japanese boy, so this belt doesn't fit me perfectly. You can modify it with a luggage strap or any kind of actual belt you can find. The rope is just a little bit easier for me. There's loops and holes already in both sides of the belt, so it's an inexpensive, easy way of getting it around my American waistline. So what else do you get? Well, you get that. That just covers up where the belts are supposed to connect. And you get more cards. 10 cards, 1 Henshin card for each Heisei Rider. Henshin. Now, it keeps it lit up so you can see the emblem through the camera lens the whole time, and it goes off. Very nice touch. Because it's supposed to be red like it is in the show, but I guess they wanted to light up instead. Ah well. But, of course, there are more cards than this. In fact, this belt packs over 120 different sound effect combinations. Really impressive. How do you get the other cards, though? The belt only comes with 10. Well, you can buy the other toys. Legend Rider series and Final Form Ride toys all have cards with them. You can play a Japanese arcade game, which, that's not really an option, but that's how most of the cards are obtained. Or you can buy the Ride Booker, which is his weapon, which fits right here. I found the Ride Booker to be quite the joke of a toy, so I didn't bother. But, like any other good reviewer here with this toy, I have these special cards. You have since it just reads barcodes, you can print out any cards you want. Just find a PDA. Some of the other video reviews link to downloads for them, because all you need is the barcode here. But, you know what? I find those to be genuinely junk. So for the purpose of this review, I've done much more stylish ones, pictures and everything. This is a replica of the card that comes with the Ride Booker. It's his slash attack, one of his main attacks from the show. There's a standby noise that will play until I do this. Okay, he's supposed to say slash there like on the show. Alright, that didn't work. Let's try a different one. How about a form ride card? That's for Den-O's rod form. See, here's my problem with the belt. Unfortunately, you can't fit all the attacks, all the forms, all the transformations, all the special abilities. Or this thing would cost 3 times as much as it does just to fit in the some 300 sound effects it would take. It's very impractical, I think. So they do their best. They're just very generic. I mean, if you actually look at the cards, the blast card, the illusion card, in fact, a lot of cards have generic barcodes like this one does. And it's not much of a surprise. But the important cards, they do work. Complete with the echo and everything. You can listen to that plastic click. This thing is very, very solid. It feels satisfying. It feels like you're moving a piece of machinery, not like you're, flipping a belt back and forth or a cheap piece of plastic. It's very nice construction. How about another one? Oh, take a look, because I put a lot of work into these cards, people. I do it for you. And yeah, that echo, for all final attack and final form ride cards, that echo is in effect, which is a really nice touch. So all of the Heisei riders get those cards, but surely that doesn't cover 120 different sound effect combinations. No, for that, you need to go older. That is Kamen Rider Stronger, my favorite Showa-era rider. Henshin! Ha 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 ha. I do love that. Keep it lit up. It is very cool. All the Showa era riders are in there, or at least 15 of them. I'd have to double check. And that is not all. We found out, because people found out all you need to do is print a barcode out, we found out a lot of cards in here that really don't belong, and we can't really explain them. Like, for instance, this one. And I'll just pull that out because it's a generic noise. But yeah, it just spouts off all the beginning sound clips. There's no point to that. There's no way it could be used in the show. You've also got cards that announce all the Heisei riders' names. You've got cards that play all 10 Henshin noises. And you've got cards that play all the Showa-era names. Just ridiculous cards. There's no way they would be released normally. They're leftovers from the testing process. It's much easier to swipe one card to hear if all the noises are correctly programmed, which I actually find really cool. It's kind of a look at how these toys are produced. That's very rare to come across. Now, how about something a little bit stranger? Because there are many sounds that are unexplained. Telebi Magazine is a kids magazine that covers live action shows, such as Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, all that. So obviously a promotional card for the magazine. There's also a promotional card for the movie, and one also for the magazine. It's a little redundant, and really, I can understand promotional cards being important, but just make any random card a promotional card and it'll be just as valuable. See, this is where Attack / an Illusion, Decade's 3 main cards went. I would have much rather it be accurate to Decade first, before you start shoving in promotional sound effects. So that's a little bit of a disappointment that they went for advertising rather than accuracy. But there's also some cool extra sound effects in here. Now, even for Dragon Knight fans, this should be a familiar looking card. Kamen Rider Ryuki was the first series to use cards. And that is a fake advent card that for some reason this thing is programmed with. It's also programmed with the other cards from Blade. Rouse. Oh, I did such a good job printing these, didn't I? So let's give a little example of that. So it's a nice little tribute to include all the other card-using Kamen Riders. It's a nice little touch, but again, attacks first, Easter eggs second. Oh well. There's one other thing that this belt did, and is it gave us a clue as to what's coming up, because there are a few sound combinations that one can only guess at. I'm not saying henshin, it's a form rod, I think. Now, obviously it's important it uses the echo, and all the Heisei riders have this. Now, why it's in there, I'm not sure. I can only guess. But, as with all Kamen Riders, there is an upgrade form, and I suspect it has something to do with that. Let's try this one out. Again, one we should know about. Henshin. That's a completely unique henshin noise. Now, I will tell you, this thing does come off. That's mostly to change the batteries, I will admit. But it's also because there is another toy coming out that will replace it on the buckle and send this over to here. So there's actually a use for that, and I think it has something to do with those other cards. That's just me guessing, though. Now, that's pretty much all this does. It's a noisemaker, and though it's a very versatile noisemaker, it's a noisemaker. Now, if you've liked what you've seen this thing do, then keep in mind this thing set me back about $65 before shipping out of Japan. So really think about it. But if you've always wanted a belt, and considering this one uses the henshin noises of all 10 of the previous riders, which is very, very cool, it is probably the definitive belt for a Kamen Rider fan, because it does just a little bit of everything from every little Kamen Rider. So that is the DecaDriver. If you like it, and you can imagine not getting bored of all those sound effects, then you're probably going to love it. If not, really think it over before you do. So, I know for my normal fans, this is a very unusual thing for me to cover, but I love this thing, I just had to do it. And for those of you who have seen me for the first time just because of this toy, you're wondering who I am. I'm just a passing through Kamen Rider. Remember that. Henshin!